All right, so exciting. Welcome, 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 everybody. We're letting people in. I think everyone's a co-host, so everybody can let folks in. Thank you so much. I know your time is so valuable. Everybody on the panel, as well as everyone who's listening, thank you so much for tuning in. We are just still so excited about eXpCon. We can't stop talking about it. We still are going through our notes and kind of trying to figure out, what to do next and which things to implement. And so we thought it would be great to put together a quick panel, do kind of a 30-minute update on some of the initiatives. We're going to hear from some staff. We're going to hear from or leadership, some leaders in the organization, and I'm just super excited about all of it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, we're going to also be able to post this afterwards. We are recording it. So that's good and fantastic. So number one, I want to talk about the thing that probably impacted me the most in a lot of ways, physically, and I think also emotionally and spiritually. We announced, Glenn announced a major partnership and the launch of Success Health. So to go along with all of the success assets that are continuing to roll out, Success Magazine, Success Coaching, and now Success Health, we were just absolutely thrilled to death to see this as an initiative from eXp, not only because it will help all of us in becoming healthier, but once again, from the very top, it's the indication that, really Glenn's intention now is to not only have the wealthiest real estate professionals on the planet, but also to have the healthiest real estate salespeople on the planet. So Success Health is launched. There's a Success Health website. I want to show you a couple of real quick things. I did a couple of quick slides. I don't have a ton of time, but I want to make sure I share this with everybody. So let me get to my slides and all right, so here we are. I'm not going to take the thing. I just want to show you the slide. So here's and you'll be able to find everyone who's in eXp. These are on Workplace as well, or reach out to us. And I think Raymar's going to be putting some of these links in the chat as well. Here was a great quote from Glenn that I thought was worth repeating again, that many of us have sacrificed health for wealth in order to be successful. And I will raise my hand on that one. So Success Health will help us really balance these priorities and provide a community of resources, coaches, and health partners with a validated approach to wellness. So the coaching piece of it's going to be huge. I mean, not only are we having coaching in our business world, but now we're going to be able to really have focused coaches in the health world. How amazing is that? That our brokerage from the very top is leading on this. So he also announced a really great initiative that most of us, maybe everybody on this call, took advantage of, which was a partnership with a company called Viome. Viome does all kinds of biome testing of the whole body through a kit of tests, and then recommends for you things that you should be eating as superfoods, things that you should avoid, and also recommends a series of supplements that will help you right now where your body is today, help you be as efficient as possible. And I just want to say, I saw Glenn over the past 2 years. Glenn's been doing this for I think like 2 years. And I've seen him over this 2 years. And I don't know him, but I've seen him since last May. Shareholders, Dallas Build, eXpCon, an event in Scottsdale, all over. And I've continued to see him just be more energized, slimmer, eyes clear. And I'm like, what the heck is he doing? And here's what he's doing. So the Viome. So there's a great here's a quick quote from Glenn about how important it is to continue to believe we can have optimal health and have better health. This is the head of Viome, and if you go to viome.com/success health, you will see the specific a kind of a deal that they're doing for eXp agents, but you can do it on your own. I mean, my husband did it. I think people are just saying, oh my God, this is going to be so simple for a certain price for the kit and per month supplements. Let me give this a try for a couple months or a year, which is what they're recommending. So this is what, if you get on there, you can, read more about this. And I can tell you that I'm super excited about this. I know I've spent at least that much on vitamins and not really sure what in the heck I'm taking, why I'm taking them. I mean, you want to get the best ones, but I mean, anyway, so now knowing there's going to be a customized plan for me and that Glenn is doing this for all of us to become healthier was huge. So let me move on to our next speaker, which is going to be Russ. Russ, share with us. Hey, Russ is our West Coast and Mid Country, right?
Something like
Growth leader.
that.
Yeah.
So regional director of growth West and Central US. So I only have 35 states. I'm working on taking over, full takeover, but my counterpart, Frank, is actually competent. That sucks. You can't beat him up. He's too competent. So, Lisa, thank you for the invite today. Thanks for the introduction. You guys, with this Viome thing, it's kind of interesting. It has my attention. My wife has a PhD in natural health. Many of you guys that know know our story. My wife has a muscle disease, kicks her ass. We've made the best life out of it we can, but like a bunch of this stuff is like, how do you live the best life you can? And she does all kinds of different supplementations and all kinds of things. So like I'm a professional granola bar specialist. I can hug a tree and tell you what it'll benefit. I'm kidding. So with that said, my wife always hands me these piles of things to stuff in my face. And I'm like, well, how do we know it's working? She's like, just take the damn thing, good wife of 28 years. She's like, just take it. And I take it. But the problem with this health related stuff is the input versus the output. Like you do a thing for a really long period of time before you see the results. And that's the hard part. Is like, is it working? Is it working? Is it working? I don't want to wait a year. So Lisa, I think it's a great thing to offer. So from a leadership standpoint, holy crow, guys, there's a couple of things that are really important that you guys know about eXpCon. Number one, it was the most attended eXpCon ever, which was awesome. So we were north of 6,000 agents. I don't know what the final 98, they're like, we got 2 more people, we hit 6. And then of course it was a whole day more of check-in people. So a lot of people going a lot of different directions. If you guys were there and you didn't see me, my apologies. I was floating around in the hallways. I never actually sat through a whole session because I was shaking hands, kissing babies, meeting people, adding value and loving on people. That was my goal for the time being there. So a couple of things from leadership that are interesting. Number one, we've got a couple of new leaders that have come in, and I don't know if you guys have seen them over the recent past, but we've got Leo Perea, who is going to be our chief of officer of affiliates, and his job is actually to help get the affiliates actually being more of a two-way street. Instead of our affiliates using us as a platform to take stuff from, we're getting them to give back in the same amount they're getting. So kind of rebalancing those relationships. This guy is an absolute phenom, a brilliant statistician, understanding what do we do, how do we do it, why do we do it, when do we do it. And this guy is actually a super nice guy too. A massive amount of connections and a really great guy to have in the C group and leadership. So if you guys didn't see him, super impressive dude. A lot of the stuff that he does will affect you in the long term down the line because he's making sure we're aligning with the right companies. He's kind of starting to get his chops. I saw him live yesterday having a conversation. He's like, all right, here's what we did. We looked at what we had. We looked at what we want. We see a difference between the two of them, and we're going to make those shifts to get from where we want to where we need to be. This is why that's important, guys. There's a lot of things that I've heard saying, well, we've had this problem, Russ, for years, and they're never going to fix it. Well, I'll tell you what, Patrick O'Neill is a systems guy. So what we're finding is everything got built in these little silos, and everybody's got their own little silo, and they're protecting their little silo, and they're going, no, guys. We are one team going one direction. We're going to want to make sure everything fits the master plan, and all these little sub piles are not going to get just overlooked. So when we're talking about onboarding people and we're talking about integrations and compliance related things, all of those things are part of the deal. They should all be integrated together, right? And one of the other shifts that's coming along through the game that you guys probably don't know about and smell is we've got Michael Valdez as Chief Growth Officer, which I know a bunch of you guys have already gotten, right? But what you don't know is that the master plan now is saying, okay, growth team is saying, this is where we lead from. These are the people on the ground that actually know how to sell houses, have done that, taught, trained, coached on how to sell houses. And he's aligning everything to be able to follow that. Because guess what, guys? We're a real estate house sale company. Our job is to sell a bunch of houses, right? Number one thing we got to do really, really well is sell a bunch of houses. When we sell a bunch of houses, we're going to attract people doing that. So that mantra is kind of shifting so that we're aligning the right stuff and with the right focus and making sure you guys have what you need to be able to sell more houses, make it easier, faster, smoother. And all of the little hiccups and things that we've been hearing about are going to start getting blended together because now everybody's accountable to each other. You can't say, no, that's their problem, and you kick it over to their silo. No, that's our problem, and we need to fix it together. So we're getting a lot of the back end things that are smoother. The stuff that worked at 10,000 agents does not work at 85,000. Stuff that works at 85 is not going to work at 500, guys. So we're setting up for the 100,000, 125, 150, getting ahead of it for once instead of being behind it. Massive growth is amazing. The problem is massive growth is a giant pain in the ass. So if you guys have ever grown anything massive, you're like, oh crap, we just outgrew our pants 5 times in 3 weeks. There's a lot of things that get stuff behind. So they're playing catch up on that. So here's the cool part. All of these things for you guys means a couple things. Number one, the company's thinking forward, which is good. Changes are being made. There's been some cuts made and some shifts made. I don't know if you guys heard that. I will not work for a company that doesn't make cuts and shifts early when they need to. The companies that are doing it late don't survive. So I love seeing them being proactive, saying market shifting, market shifted. We're going to make those adjustments early and often, and then we can always adjust back if we need to. I want to see very proactive moves from leadership to make sure that we're staying in a position where we keep a tailwind. And in this type of scenario, we are best positioned to be able to take over market share, which is pretty cool. So I'm super happy with the things I'm seeing from a leadership position. I get some inside track on some stuff, and I'm looking at it saying, I love the direction you're going. Okay, so that's cool. And the last part from a leadership standpoint, I'm just talking about people at the moment, is I don't know if you guys saw Tristan Ahumada. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I think that was smooth, right? Ahumada. Okay. So this guy, if you don't know who this is, he's going to be the chief marketing officer for Success, the Success wing of eXp. And here's the cool part. He's not just going to stick in his little Success silo. He's going to be playing in the other places too. So everybody, again, is one big team. And if you don't know what that means, this guy had 140, 150,000 agents in his Facebook setup called Lab Coat Agents. He is the most prolific growth and in the real estate space as far as social media marketing related things go. So all of the things that he did to build that and generate revenue from that and generate connections from that, he's going to be teaching, training, and being a resource for us on all of the different aspects of eXp, which will trickle down to you guys. So talking content, we're talking style systems, parts, pieces, trainings, all of that stuff that you need to be able to be better social media person. This is the social media guru, and he's got all the people with him that helped him build that. So
and from a recruiting standpoint, Tristan was with our red and white fine competitors for a gazillion years, and so this was a big get, and it was announced. Actually, Barbara and I were in the session when they announced it, and we were everybody kind of went, Glenn, no moss on Glenn.
My response was, who the heck is that?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't know, right? I didn't know that was the guy behind that. But as soon as they said Lab Coat Agent, I'm like, oh, dude, that's big. That's like a freaking 10-ton gorilla in the room, right? And he's a nice guy.
Yeah, for sure. So let me move on. Daniel Eng. I know Daniel has been generous enough to join us today. Daniel's in the middle of success coaching training right now. So I'm like, well, couldn't you take like a lunch break and just pop in? Nice. So, because Daniel's just such an amazing heart-centered leader and knows everything about commercial. So I wanted to give him an opportunity to give us a little bit of an update.
Yes. How are you guys? Glad to be on. A lot of exciting things. We hit over 700 commercial brokers in our eXp commercial. I know James Wong, our leader, is really pushing hard for other services. So we're doing more ancillary services. They updated their academy. It used to be the Accelerate program for the eXp commercial junior agents. They're calling it the eXp Commercial Academy now. So in the chat group, I put in the new slide deck for the commercial slide deck because that's always constantly getting updated. We used to have different tools are getting added and taken out because as the company is pivoting, the growth is changing. We're adding other things to our tools and taking away certain things that agents aren't using. So another thing is we have our commercial real estate symposium next week. So please, it's free. Please invite guests to that. I also put that in the chat group so you can register your agents, your team, and other guests. It's not in the eXp Realty world, it's in the eXp commercial world. So make sure you're downloading the commercial world application because we don't want to crash the realty side as in the past. So we created our own virtual world just for this class.
Wow.
That's really the main thing. I'm just excited to be with the team of commercial brokers as it continues to grow. There's going to be more mentors and more advisors, which is great because as the company grows, that allows these advisors to connect with you guys because you guys are growing on the realty side explosively, right? So we need to up our game. And the thing is about eXp commercial, if you're talking to a commercial practitioner, you really need to get one of the advisors on that Zoom call. Get James, myself, anyone that's in eXp commercial, reach out on Workplace. Reach out like, hey, I have a commercial person that I'm trying to pull over. Please, schedule that time. So I do that around the country, and I get to meet a lot of different people and just kind of at least share what we're doing on the commercial side correctly. Because I've heard other people try to share it, and they're sharing the wrong slides, wrong things. So we just want to make sure that everyone is using the updated information. And what else was there? We are growing in Canada. So I know James Wong is flying into Vancouver. We have a commercial broker, designated broker for eXp commercial that's growing there. And so they're expanding. So there's a lot of things going on. And I guess the main takeaway I really enjoyed was hearing other commercial practitioners talking about the referrals network. Because as commercial people being plugged into this platform, we're learning a lot of new things, and we're learning how to do the referrals better and just connect with more people. So that's all I really have to say. It was great to see a lot of people at the eXpCon. It was big. Russ was talking about the growing pains as we continue to grow. Same thing with commercial. You can imagine how it was 2 years ago versus now. We're always constantly improving. With the shift in the market, we're also improving by adding more ancillary services. Jim continues to push those, and I'm meeting with Jeff Finn with RealNex. That's going to be plugged into our commercial platform in the future. So just a lot of new things that we're excited about.
Daniel, there was one quick question for you. I know you probably have a pretty quick answer. The question was, what about residential agents that we like to call ourselves resi-mercial if we do a couple of commercials? What, give us your best piece of advice for people that kind of dabble but are not, are primarily residential agents.
Yeah. So if you want to be a resi-mercial agent, eXp Realty allows you to do it as long as you're getting certified, right? Take those commercial classes. Go to the commercial symposium. I know the NCREA with Michael Simpson, he does teach that class. Get certified. You're locally get certified in your NAR commercial certification. The company on eXp Realty, the main thing they want to make sure is you're competent. You know what you're doing, right? If you don't know what you're doing, pair yourself with a commercial practitioner to work with you. And that's why this company is, in my team of 135 right now, I do have a lot of resi-mercial agents, right? And it's okay, right? But the main thing for the state broker, they want to make sure you know what they're doing because the state broker may not be doing commercial. So they cannot really advise you as a broker, right? So you really need to make sure you're plugged in to the right people so you can do your commercial deals. And we do that all the time. So there's some people that, well, I can't do it. Well, you need to get yourself trained, right? Just like when you're residential real estate, you need to get certification. You need to making sure that you know what you're doing for your client.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And so, Daniel, do people sign up for that 2-day symposium? Is there a specific sign up?
Yes. So in that link above earlier, I put in the registration. And also eXp Commercial, they're really pushing a lot on LinkedIn. So make sure you're following them on LinkedIn for all these different events. That's what they're pushing right now. They see a lot of traction that way. And we're always constantly improving.
Yeah, that was mentioned. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. And thank you again for taking the time. I know you were busy.
I'm going to head back to my success coaching.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you again for joining us. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. And then next we're moving on, Barbara Legg, a realtor in San Diego, my property sister and friend. We usually are kind of joined at the hip at these conferences, but we did split off for a couple different things. And one of them was Barbara went through the certification for the affinity program. So please share that with us kind of quickly and tell people about the advantages and how they can sign up for the affinity training in 23.
Kind of quickly. Okay, I'm gonna kind of talk really fast if I can. So yeah, the eXp Affinity program, I did not know what that was. And it's kind of a nice segue from what Daniel was saying with the certifications. So eXp does have different certifications that agents can take. One is REO, one is relocation, and the newest one is this affinity program. So I did do a quick PowerPoint slide. I'm just going to show you some of the screenshots that I took from the conference. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to get like all into the weeds or anything. I'm just going to kind of get right down into what really excited me. So the affinity program is basically like a platform that we can use for people that are moving like job to job, but the company isn't handling the relocation. So that's mainly the big difference. Some of these big corporations will pay for relocation for their employees to move to different sites. Okay, Affinity is an employee who uses the HR services that they have for real estate, but the company is not necessarily paying for the move, but they will align with a partner that can give them basically a rebate back, as long as it is legal in your state. So check with your state to make sure that this program will work for you. Let's see, so the Military Honors Reward Program, for me, I thought this was huge. I'm a military brat. My dad was in the Marines, so we moved around, quite a bit. They kind of likened this to the USAA program. If any of you realtors are familiar with that. You used to be able to sign up with USAA, become one of their preferred agents. You had to pay for it. And then you had to take the referral fee out of your commission. And it's kind of like that. I don't think, from what I understood from this class, USAA no longer has that program. I don't know for sure, but that's what they said. So they're hoping that this will replace it. The nice thing about this is it's not just for active duty military, but it's for children, spouses of active and retired military. So don't go out right away and say, hey, I've got somebody who's moving, because I don't think it's quite rolled out yet. They're still, finalizing things. I am on the Affinity workplace group, and somebody had asked that. They said, hey, the military ball is coming up and I want to promote this, yada, yada. And they said, whoa, we're super excited for you, but please don't do that yet. We're not quite there yet. So we all have to be a little bit patient. A lot of people are super excited about it. The Military Rewards Program. And then the other one that I was super excited about was first responders. So for those of you who know doctors, nurses, EMTs, but also teachers and social workers. My son's a teacher. I'm super, super excited about this. So, and again, you have to make sure that the company that you're going to is already a member of the Affinity program. If they're not, you can introduce them to the Affinity program, and eXp will talk to them about how to do the rebate back to their employees, so on and so forth. So keep an eye out for this. I do have a link that you guys can go to right here. For more information, you can go ahead and sign up and just get more information on what the Affinity program is. But at the same time, too, check and see about the relocation certification and the REO certification. They're all separate. It's not one certification for everything. They're all separate. Okay.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. And Barbara, would you put that link also in the chat? And then,
Yes.
yeah, oh, looks like Rayma already did. Okay. And then we can, people can, because so many of these things, and you'll see my stuff on luxury, which I'm very excited to talk to you about right now. With their screenshots from the presentation, right? So let me just set the stage. So when I got to eXp a little over 2 years ago, we had an eXp luxury collection. And it was really based on the CLHMS designation, the Certified Luxury Home Marketing Specialist designation, which is really the designation, the only widely recognized designation. And you had to have that, and then you had to pay like a little bit. And we had a Facebook group, and we had a logo, and it was a little disorganized. And then whoever was in charge of it left the company. And since then, it has been a topic of conversation in almost every circle I'm ever in. What in the heck's going on with the luxury program? Because we have a lot of luxury agents, but in terms of inviting other luxury agents to come to the company, we're just getting over that horrible button logo, and kind of the collateral was, and then to tell someone who's at Sotheby's who believes, or one of our fine, one of our other fine colleagues, that, don't worry, luxury's coming, just was not a conversation any of us were ever having. So wanting to have the assets, but also really wanting to invite other agents that are luxury agents to consider eXp as their next home was a real challenge. So we heard that there was going to be an announcement. It was very brief, at 10:30 during general session, and they kind of said, "Luxury's here. Stay tuned. Tune in tomorrow." And we were like, "What?" We were kind of expecting to get a little bit more details. Details were leaking out, So I was at the Icon event, which ended at 12, and we all set our alarms for 11:30 because that was when the eXp Luxury event was going to happen. I walked out of my room. Thank you God, it was like right next to there. The line was hundreds and hundreds of people trying to get into this room just to hear about what was going on with eXp Luxury. They had to open another back wall. There were so many people that were so interested in what was going on. So the good news is it was announced. Like Barbara, a number of the programs, let me pull up, hold on, I'm trying to pull up my screen. Hold on. Actually, it's not going to the right thing. All right, can you see the PowerPoint right now? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, luxury. All right, so the details, so it's happening very quickly. I think someone said, no matter what, you're going to announce at EXPCon, eXp Luxury. Like, this is the deadline, so figure it out. So, there's a council of agents, and I have to say, first of all, I was hugely encouraged and impressed. I know these agents. They're very good luxury agents. They're elegant. They're thoughtful. And that's what you really need for luxury. And they're not all $12 million. There was someone in the room who had a $29 million listing. These agents that are on the council, Tina Call, her biggest listing was $6 million, but she basically sells 1 to 2. Jen, she's actually from the Midwest. Now she sells out of Naples. So that kind of changed her numbers. But when she was selling out of the Midwest, I think 700, 750 was a luxury listing in that area. So they're not like way head in the clouds, $1 million listing LA people. They are really people that really get the importance of the elegance and the quality of what we're doing for luxury. So like Barbara, I've got screenshots from the presentation. This is some of the stuff that's going to be included with the luxury if you become an eXp luxury agent. Great branding, really nice. It's very, very clean. It's kind of like a gold copper line, eXp gold copper line. It's very simple, it's really, really attractive. Every listing over 1 million, whether you're a luxury agent or not, will be featured on the eXp Luxury website. Let me repeat that. Every listing over 1 million. At this time, they had to make a line somewhere. So at this time, $1 million is the line. Every single listing over that is going to be listed on the eXp Luxury website. You'll have, as a member, you'll have an exclusive property-specific listing, great, really beautiful collateral. Success Magazine, 50% at this point, reduced rates for putting your property in Success Magazine. So that's huge. Success Magazine is like a big thing, and that goes everywhere. So having that access, if you so choose, or even putting it in your listing presentation, that it's a possibility, is a really great thing. CRM updates, you can see other premium brand partnerships. So they're looking at actually Chime and what was the other one, Barbara? Looking at 2 other CRMs, by the way, to kind of be able to potentially utilize, but there'll be discounts on those products. Masterminds are going to be going on all the time, luxury certification courses, and then the council. Advertising placements, this is where the big boys play with luxury, and if you have a luxury property in a market, especially like a Miami or, in a market where they're like big international players, they want to know that you're in the Robb Report. They want to know that you're in Mansion Global. These are things that are really important. I don't know how effective they are to sell the property, but they're very important to luxury sellers. And that's what we're doing, is serving them. So here's the QR code that will take you to the application to become an eXp luxury agent. And it actually looks like not like that, like this. So here's the requirements currently. I just got this yesterday and sent my stuff in. You have to have 3 closed sides in the last 2 years at 3 times your average sale price. So your average sale price you can get from your MLS stats. 3 times your average sale price, you need 3 closed sides. Or 3 closed sides in the last 24 months of 1 million plus. Easy peasy. And so just, send that. They literally said, just attach those 3 MLSs to this email and just reply back, simple. And then here's when you're first filling it out. Here's your information. So that is the story on eXp Luxury. Very exciting.
Hey, Lisa, I want to add to that real quick. I want to make
Sure.
sure you double and jump on that. So you're talking Tina Call, Janny Coffey, Jana Caudell, and Edward Kaminsky were on that panel.
Yep.
Guess who I'm interviewing live on Friday at 11 o'clock on the Friday Fire Show.
Oh my gosh. Oh, great. So leadership, tune into leadership on Friday for sure.
Friday, eXp World Main Auditorium. I'm going to be interviewing the 4 of them and pulling out. We're not going to just go over the details of the program. We're going to be talking about how do you get into luxury? How did you get into luxury? How do we attract people in luxury? That's going to be the kick there too. So stay tuned. I'll see you on Friday.
Absolutely. Yeah, do a screenshot of this. It will work if you screenshot it and try and do it with your phone later or whatever. That will definitely take you to the luxury application. The new luxury website looks very, very nice. I think there's a nice video, really nice video. It's actually Tina. It's gorgeous. It's elegant and gorgeous and simple and short and very exciting. So super excited about that. So that's what I've got for luxury. Tom, I'd love to turn it over to you to hear your takeaways, and then if you could facilitate a round robin for everybody to kind of give their big highlight and takeaway, and then we'll wrap up.
Hey, everybody. We're wrapping up soon. So, James, I know you were there. Rick, I'm going down the list here. Let's see. Pauline, Halil, I think you were there. Michelle Nguyen, whoever was there at the convention, I'd love to call on you next to share with you your experiences and your takeaway from convention. Here's what's in it for you guys. There's 45 of you on the call right now. I am more excited about eXp now than ever. We're entering our 13th, 14th year as a company. We're still a child, but we're playing in the big girl league, the big boy league. If you miss convention, it's okay. Make sure that you get to shareholders as soon as possible. Book your ticket to shareholders and book your ticket to convention again. I'll tell you a quick story. We have the woman in our group here in Massachusetts. I did an open house with her the Sunday before she had to hop on a plane to go to Las Vegas. And she wasn't going to go. She had all these excuses. I don't have time. I don't have the money. I did not plan for it, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? She showed up and I interviewed her afterwards. And she goes, Tom, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the leader you are and pressing on me to go and telling me, even though I can't afford it, that I can sleep in your bathtub. Okay. And I'm telling you, you guys get to shareholders, get to convention, because she is so excited because she came back with 3 designations: affiliate designations, REO designation, and one other relocation. We are giving out leads. Okay. Mm-hmm. Your ears should be perking up right now. You guys want to get designations because we are giving away leads. Commercial just gave away a $2.3, maybe $2.4 million listing distressed REO. Do I have your attention? This market is shifting. Mm-hmm. We want pros serving our clients. Those who show up at convention have demonstrated their professionalism. But if you missed it, it's okay. I hope you have FOMO, big ass FOMO, but it's okay. You can still plug back in because we will be posting training and materials. And we're doing this wrap-up call. Thank you, Lisa, Russ, Barbara, and Daniel Lang for leading the way to do this, to share the information with you. Okay, but we still want to empower you, the agent, to crush the shifting market. There's no better platform that I would hang my hat with right now than here at eXp. Commercial, luxury, residential, global, so on and so forth. Okay, guys, if you don't succeed now and you don't thrive in this next couple of years, here's what I can say. Looking at all of you square in the Zoom call here. It's on you. The company is providing all of you all of the resources necessary to just crush and capture massive market share. What are you going to do about it? We're all here to support you. All right? We're here to support you. We love you. We want you nothing more but for your massive success. I'm looking at the Zoom call. James, if you want to open your mic, 30 seconds, your takeaway, then Rick Bonello, and then going down the list, whoever else is there, go ahead, open up the mic. And what were your takeaways? One takeaway from me to speak on. Go ahead, James. You were on the same plane as me.
Yes, it was. So thanks for putting me on the spot, Tom. It was great seeing you. I joined eXp about 2 months ago, and my biggest takeaway, or one of them, was the community and how large it is with eXp and all the resources, and how everyone was willing to share, and it was so collaborative, and that was the biggest impression for me. No one said, "Hey, come here and share everything." He's like, you can go to anybody and ask them a question, and everyone's just willing to be giving, which was on really does make it a family feeling, which is great.
Thank you, James. Rick Manalo.
Yeah, to piggyback on James, one of the sayings was collaboration is the new currency.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
I like that. I like the way we are focused on working together and helping each other grow. And like everyone on the panel today, they announced these things that you can take advantage of, and it's free to you for the most part. You just need to take initiative and sign up for the courses and get these leads and get this knowledge from these courses. So that's what I took away.
Thank you, Rick. A lot of us had videographers there. I had my videographer there recording. So if you wanted, my session was sold out, right? They had to turn people away, but you can catch that on any of my feeds. So go ahead and learn that. But there's tons of training there that you guys can grab. Okay. Who else was there? Who wants to share? All right. Then we'll do Q&A. Everyone else on the call, what's on your mind? How can we help you? And if you're going to take off, we only called it for 30 minutes. We're already 8 minutes over, so I totally respect your time. I'm all about time blocking. If you got to jump off, we will take no offense. Get off, get out of here, go sell some houses, recruit some agents. Lynn,
How do you get the REO
Mr.
leads?
18, Christopher, Maria, JJ. What was the question? Go ahead.
How do you get receive these REO leads if you're already certified?
Then if you're already certified, my suggestions for you is if you aren't getting it, it's because we probably don't have anything in your local market, right? But if and when we get things to your local market, chances are the state broker or somebody is going to have their favorites. So who's been attending the monthly state meetings, the weekly state meetings? Who attended the California state meeting, the Texas state meeting, the Massachusetts state meeting? Who's attending the Alabama and the Denver meetings? Yes, they do. There are ass kissers in the company and people who know how to work the politics, right? This is the real life, boys and girls. How do you get your attention with the people who make those decisions?
Yep.
That's how you get them. Give back to the organization, teach something, deliver something of value, and your name will rise to the top. And I'm sure somebody at some level is going to pick you if you give back to the organization. No sugarcoating from Tom Truong today.
Yeah, no sugarcoating from Tom Truong any day, Mr. Tom Truong. We know that, though, and we love you for that. We absolutely do. Hey, I just want to say one thing also in terms of the future and how excited I am from an organizational standpoint. We had a meeting with Patrick, the new CIO. There's a new CTO and a new COO and CIO. Both those guys used to work together in previous industries, actually 2 different ones. And one of the beautiful things about their leadership now is that they have nothing to do with real estate. They completely came in from a different vertical, and they really have a perspective that is very metrics driven, very inclusive. They're really looking at why would you have those 5 buckets? It's kind of great. We spent almost 90 minutes with them at an AAC meeting, and it was just so encouraging. As well as, I just want to say something again about Glenn Sanford. Glenn was also in a small meeting I was in, and he talked about recently attending the National Association of MLM or network marketers, because he said, we don't really have any peers in terms of our business structure. And so they're really taking, and interestingly, other network marketing companies, your Amways, your big established companies, have the same kinds of speed bumps that we do, starting with onboarding. And then interestingly, including early adopter legacy entitlement, which was very interesting comment, just kind of like, but we've always, but don't you know who we think we are? We've always done it this way. So it was interesting to hear a perspective about how Glenn, and now the next one is going to be in April, and he's including more and more of the leadership to attend the Network Marketing Association's meetings, because it really does give us, with our business model, a different perspective. So I just wanted to mention, talk about vision in the future and why we were all so excited about eXpCon for sure.
So a couple of things we're doing here for our group is a Big Win Wednesday, www.bigwinwednesday.com. Make sure that you follow us. If you're part of the Agents Get Free group, make sure you follow all the events that we're posting all across the country that are live as well as online. All right. Scott Lewis, our fearless leader, is back at it. He took a summer break, but the fall is here and we're coming back. We're pouring back into you guys again for continued growth. Plug into your 80 hours a week of training that eXp provides. It's absolutely incredible. All right. And we're all here to help you. I'm literally just a text, a phone call away. And so are all of these leaders. I'm sure Barbara, Lisa, and Russ is here to help all of you guys grow. If you've got heavy hitters, if you've got cappers, icons, broker owners, team leaders, and you've already sort of shared with them the preliminary model and you need Russ to come in and help you, that's what he's here for. Right, Russ?
You betcha, brother. Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. Take me off the bench and put me in play. That's right.
Let me at it.
All right, folks. Well, Lisa, Barbara, Russ, thank you very much for your leadership. Everyone else, go and crush the rest of this week. Crush this shifting market. I'm in Miami. I came from Vegas to Miami, and now I'm off to San Diego. So I got to go pack and jump to the airport. Love you guys.
All right.
Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
I just put my contact info into the chat. Barbara and Russ, maybe you can do the same thing. And then if anybody has questions, they want to reach out, let us know. We will post a version of this within the next day or so on all of the channels, so you can share with your teams. And thank you again, Barbara and Russ and Tom and Daniel, for your generosity and collaborative spirit.
Easy stuff. Thanks for having me out. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for doing this. See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.